Morning, everybody. Madam Clerk?
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and was posted on the municipal bulletin board. It was sent to the record at 10:01 on August 4th and to the Star Ledger at 10:19 on August 4th.
Thank you. Roll call?
Councilmember Pataglia.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Here. Councilmember Sims.
Here.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Here. Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Mangan is filling in for Mr. Trost, who is not in today. Anything, Mr. Mangan?
Yeah, if I could just briefly explain what we're doing here this morning. What we're doing is we're introducing a bond ordinance for the Hackensack Performing Arts Center building renovation. This was a project that was funded last year, back in May of 2015. We recently went out to bid. The bids came in over budget, and as such, we rejected those bids. Made some modifications to the specifications, went out to bid again, and we're amending the ordinance now to add additional funding. We're adding funding from the fundraiser that was held recently. There was $220,000 raised in cash that'll be applied to this ordinance. There was also other money that was pledged, as well as additional debt that the city is going to be taking on for this project. Total amount of the project will now be $2,175,000, and I just want to explain that there was an error in the Bergen record, which was my fault. I spoke to the reporter, and he had asked me about the additional funding, and I gave him the total amount of the whole ordinance, which was a multi-purpose ordinance. It also had the road paving program in it, had city hall renovations. So it was reported in the record that the funding for the Performing Arts Center was $3 million, which is not true. That was the total ordinance. It was close to $3 million.
Okay.
But the HVAC is $2,175,000. So we're here this morning to introduce this ordinance. Okay. Upon introduction, there'll be a full public hearing and adoption at the August 22nd meeting. And that's
Very
all
good.
I have.
Thank you. Moving forward, Resolution 299-16.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 31-2016, a bond ordinance amending and restating in entirety bond ordinance number 26-2015, finally adopted by the City Council of the City of Hackensack in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey on July 7, 2015, to increase the appropriation and the authorization to amend and supplement other provisions therein and canceling bond ordinance number 30-2016 as introduced.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Aye. Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 31-2016 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on August 22nd, 2016 at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council. And at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 300-16.
This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hackensack authorizing the law firm of Galantucci and Patuto to represent P.O. Stephen Achman of the City of Hackensack Police Department in the matter of the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office's investigation of the fatal accident on March 31st, 2016.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 301-16.
Resolution 301-16 is a resolution authorizing payment of bills.
Motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay, before we go into public comment, I just want to, our director of our cultural arts department is here, and I just want to congratulate him as well, because you're going to be a big part of this cultural arts center. It looks like this is the final, hopefully, step towards getting this completed and open. So looking forward to seeing this time next year. I plan on sitting in there and watching some great shows. All right, thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. At this time, I need a motion to open to the public, please.
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Killen-Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. This time, anybody from the public who'd like to speak, please come forward. You have 5 minutes. Please give your name and address to the clerk.
Hi, Anthony Ziza, Maple Hill Drive.
Morning.
I'd like some clarification about last week's meeting, the meeting that was canceled. How did we end up in that situation?
How did we end up in that situation?
Yes, how did we end up not giving sufficient legal notice?
It was missed by, I guess, under 3 hours.
Well,
It was an oversight. I can't, I don't call that in. Actually, the clerk calls that in, and she has said it was a
when
mistake,
was the
and
meeting
that's it.
decided on? When did you guys decide to have the meeting at 8 a.m. on Thursday?
There was some discussion beforehand, not amongst the whole council, but with the city manager and the CFO, and Fran Reiner from DMR, telling us some facts about the bid process, and we decided, to go from there and reintroduce it.
So approximately what day did you decide to have the meeting on Thursday?
I can't remember, Anthony, to be honest with you. It was between that week of our last meeting, after we turned down the bid, the introduction, and during that following week. All right?
Okay, that's...
I can't remember
quite
the
a
day
bit
off, and
of
I can go back
time
and,
to
I can go back
do
and
the
find out
proper
for you, but
notice.
I don't know sitting here.
My second question, and unfortunately I don't remember who gave me this answer because I'm not able to see the video. I would normally review that. One of the professionals last week, I think it was Mr. Trost, when I asked why we're having a meeting, and once again we're having a meeting at an extremely inconvenient time for the public to see, almost like that's the purpose of it. I asked, well, why 8 a.m.? What was the purpose of 8 a.m.? Why not have a meeting at an hour that is reasonable? And I was told that, well, this is what was convenient for the council. So I want to ask you, Mr. Mayor, what do you believe the function of these meetings being public is?
Well, let me say this to you, Mr. Ziza. In past councils going back, I had it checked going back quite a ways. It's not uncommon to have a special meeting. Last council did it. Many of them were held early morning or 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Some were held at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. A couple were held at 6:30 in the evening. The point being is we get this over with. It's one small, basically it's based on the small introduction, one introduction, not a small introduction, of this bond ordinance, which was taken out of the last meeting. And that's really not, we're not conducting a full docket of city business as usual, and it's not uncommon to do city business. I know as when I was a councilman, I was actually called in to place a vote. I was on a conference call to do a vote on something in an emergency situation. So, and not that this is an emergency, but we needed to get this forward because it is time sensitive for this. So it's not to hide any type of, we're trying to, it's not a lack of transparency. It was just wanted to get it done. As far as 8 in the morning, I mean, it's a time when we get here and we move on. I mean, it's videotaped. Everybody gets to see it. We get to, you have a second hearing on it. Everybody gets to hear it again and gets to speak on it. This is just the introduction. We would never do a, what do you call it?
Adoption.
The adoption of an ordinance like this, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, my you actually said what my issue is, which is, this is not an emergency. And more importantly, we had a regularly scheduled meeting for, I believe, tomorrow evening. I mean, we had a meeting that was originally scheduled for tomorrow evening when we could have done...
It was for tonight.
it was for tonight, so it's even worse. We could have been having all of this at a time that was convenient to the public. And it's the emergency quality of it. This was not an emergency. The previously held meeting that was voided was only a couple of days off from the regularly scheduled meeting. If the council had chosen not to get rid of the regularly scheduled meeting, because according to Mr. Carver, you don't need to have it because the cow counts as one of the 2 statutory meetings. We wouldn't be having this conversation because we'd be here tonight doing all of this business in a time frame that is best for the public. And that's my problem. I understand that meetings need to be had occasionally to do emergency functions, but none of this is an emergency function. We knew that this bond needed to be passed. We had a meeting scheduled. The meeting was canceled, and now here we are, 8 a.m., having a meeting that we should have been having at the normal time tonight.
Well, you're certainly entitled to your opinion, Mrs. Eason, and I understand your opinion. But like I said, we're not trying to hide anything. This is taped. Everybody can watch this meeting. Nobody can speak on this ordinance because it's only introduced. At the adoption, everybody will have a chance, and that's my answer. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, and very quickly, and I apologize. I know that the thing went off, but in fairness, the mayor was responding. YouTube is a one-way medium.
Well, it's on YouTube. It's also on television on 2 different channels.
No. That's not what I mean. I mean, I can't speak back to the television. I can't ask my television or my computer. Well, technically, I can ask my computer questions, but I can't ask you questions, and that's the purpose.
Right, Mrs.
This
Eason.
bond, if people have questions about
We're
it,
past our 5 minutes, but I will respond to that. Is anybody who had any questions who saw this on YouTube or the television is more than happy to call the city manager's office, the CFO, or any council member for that matter, or email us or contact us any way they wanted to. So, I mean, their opinion could be heard, but I appreciate your opinion, and your time is up. Thank you. Next, please.
Mayor, if I could just remind you that this meeting is a special meeting, not an emergency meeting.
Right.
It is.
No, I know, but there is some urgency. There is some urgency to the reason we're doing this meeting, because there is some time
Emergency is Health,
sensitivity.
safety, and
Correct.
health,
Correct.
welfare, and safety.
Yep. Thank you. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council. My name is Randy Glover. I'm a resident of Hackensack. I'm just here to say I participated in an event with the Cultural Arts Department. I want to thank Greg, actually, the Yossi, for stepping out of the box and allowing me to do 4 events under the Cultural Arts banner. Basically to show that there are other interests in Hackensack that can put together events that meet the needs of the whole town. Not only did it meet the needs of the whole town, the participation was great. Over the 4 evenings, we had over 1,000 people attend. Mayor, you were at the last one, dancing and having a great time, as I recall.
Yes, I was.
What we did was include the whole town, each culture. We had a Caribbean night, we had a Latin night, we had a dance party night, we had a hometown heroes night, recognizing people in the community who've been active in the community for years, but had very little recognition, and we decided to recognize those people. We did it at a fraction of the cost of like the situation on the green. Not to say that that would always be the case, but it brought a different look and a different flavor to what has been going on, and hopefully in the future we will continue that. In the process, we've also garnered a lot of press. The press has covered it each week. The first week we had like basically 2 pages of press. One was a full page outlining the young man who we considered a hometown hero, and the reporter did a full story on him, and then also outlined the program that we did. So I just would like to say that, you know, when the performing arts is up and running, I would like to have an opportunity to bring in performers. I think I can match anybody, and I mean anybody, that you guys can get. Mr. Sims, you might know, might not know that your future in-laws, one of them, I introduced her to James Brown before he died. I'm currently working with Rhonda Ross, which is the daughter of Berry Gordy and Diana Ross, because that's the situation I'm working with the Plaza Hotel, as well as I'm also working with Tony DeSere. You guys had him for the fundraiser. I'm going to have him at the Shops at Riverside on the 25th of August. So it's all open for discussion, but I just want to say thank you again, Greg. And also, thank you to Patrice Forsman, because she also assisted in helping me raise some funds to do these things. Okay, so I just would like to say thank you again. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Glover. The council, we'd like to thank you at this time. The events, though I only got to the last one, I heard the events were very successful, and you're right, it was great to have all the different cultural different types of music and shows there, and I agree with you 100%. We're actually looking, we've already started discussion, a couple of us amongst ourselves have started talking about, gee, we probably should do more of these, so we can squeeze some more shows, and we still have a whole month of good weather too, so. All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Richard Salkin, Hackensack, New Jersey. Mr. Ziza mentioned that he can watch the meetings on YouTube. Problem is, you didn't post the Thursday situation on there. May I direct my question to the city clerk? Why wasn't it posted? That's certainly a city record, don't you think? Why isn't the video up?
I was told that it wasn't going to go up.
By
And
whom?
I wasn't here last week, so that was what I was told, that it wasn't going up.
I would defer to legal counsel on that.
Well, wait, no. This is a city record. I'm directing it to the city clerk. Were you told, was your office directed by the city council not to post that video?
I
That's my
can
question.
answer that. I asked if this was a meeting and should it be posted, and I said no, and the answer was no.
By whom? Who told you no?
I can't, I'm trying to think.
As you know better than most, there was no meeting.
No,
There's no
there was a
meeting.
gathering, there was a public entity, your actions were illegal and had to be null and void. That should be, is it gonna be posted, Mr. Mayor?
No, I don't think it was a meeting.
No,
You yourself come up and said
The
this
cover-up
was
is
no.
worse than the crime, John. Why don't
You
learn
came
that?
here,
hope you
it was
remember.
in the newspaper. How was it could it be
Excuse me,
covered
Mr.
up?
I
Pataglia?
hope so you remember that.
You hope I remember, what does that mean, man?
We're not gonna
Gavel
stop.
then, he interrupted.
I'm gaveling both of you, sirs. All right?
Oh, you
Listen,
gavel me. This is my 5 minutes, John.
and you're entitled to your 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Let's move forward.
Okay.
There was no hiding there. That article ended up in the newspaper, for God's sake.
So what? People have a right to see it. Mr. Vaziz's got a right, if he can't make it to the meeting, to go on and see what happened. Mr. Sims, I have a question for you. I know your hip has given you problems in the last period of time, and it seems to flare up whenever there's a discussion out here about privatization of sanitation. Ms. Keelan Geddes has committed publicly she will not support privatization. You were not here when I went over excuse me, let me finish my comment, please. When I went over the data that's been submitted to the EEOC, that in a city where our African-American population is about 25%, the workforce of the city of Hackensack has 5.8 representation of the African-American community employed. Will you support privatization under any circumstance?
I will not support.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I saw you placed an ad for city manager in the League of Municipalities. Have you sought out any internal candidates?
We posted it, and everybody who knows about it can apply for that position.
Were there individual solicitations of anyone, like Mr. Mangan, was he asked if he wanted to be city manager?
I didn't personally ask Mr. Mangan. I don't know if anybody else did.
I made it known that I'm not interested in the
How about
position.
Mr. Cumberbatch? Was he asked?
I've got a personal situation that
Was
prevents
Mr.
me from doing
Cumberbatch
that.
asked? Anybody?
I did not ask Mr. Cumberbatch. I
You
can't
know
ask
if he was
the
asked?
council.
You know if he was asked?
No, I don't know if he was asked.
How about Ms. Stout? Was she asked?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you have any knowledge of that?
No, I don't have any knowledge, and even if I had knowledge, these are all personnel
No,
issues
those are not
that we
personnel
wouldn't discuss in a public meeting anyway.
Excuse me?
These are
But
personnel
who could be
issues.
No, they're not personnel issues, Mr.
This is a
Mannion.
personnel issue, absolutely is.
Oh, absolutely. It's like your Green Acres, like your bidding, like, you rarely know what you're talking about, Mr. Mannion, frankly. Your ad says you have to have 10 years of municipal experience. Does that eliminate Mr. Battaglia from seeking the city manager job?
I would imagine so. You're saying it calls for 10 years of
Is that a
administrative city business?
requirement or is that preference? It's your ad.
It's a preference. I don't think it's a requirement.
So Mr. Battaglia can apply for the job if he chooses.
It's a free country. If the ad's there and he wanted to apply,
Do you
absolutely.
support Mr.
Me
Battaglia?
personally, no, I would not apply, I would not support Mr. Battaglia being our city manager.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Crazy question.
I'm Patrice Forsman, the Executive Director of the Main Street Business Alliance. I'm here in support and acknowledgement of the city administration's move to bring the culture to downtown Hackensack.
Good morning, Patrice. How are you?
On behalf of the Alliance's merchants, property owners, and volunteer board of directors, I would like to voice our continued support for all initiatives that bring the cultural arts to downtown Hackensack. Summer 2016 has seen an ambitious schedule of plays, concerts, art shows, and art installations, all hosted on downtown sites. The exciting opening of the Hackensack Performing Arts Center in 2017 will continue the imaginative movement that will guide all to the art scene that the public will identify with Hackensack's revitalization. And as in all urban redevelopment, when the arts succeed, we all succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a very good event the other night, too. Anybody else from the public? Seeing none, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Roll call?
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Mr. Battaglia, would you like to say anything?
Thank you, Greg, for all the beautiful event that we got in the last few weeks. The same for Mr. Glover and the rest of the people they put together these beautiful shows. And that was really nice to see everybody happy in all these events. And the same for the splash park, to see more than 60, 70 kids enjoying that hot weather, the new park. That was wonderful. Thank you for everybody for coming.
I'd like to echo our thanks to Greg and to Mr. Glover for organizing the Friday night events, and hopefully we can maybe continue them and do a little bit more, see if we can work something out while we have a few weeks left of great, or maybe even another month or so left of great weather. I think it was wonderful to see that park being used and full of people and happy people. That's why we were committed to having that park built and put in a premier location in our downtown. So, great job. We saw, I only made one or two of the events, but I saw on videos too how successful the rest of them were. So great to see, great to have. I also want to thank the folks on the board, on the Cultural Arts Board, who came together to see what types of venues we want to have in our park. And we're able to supply that venue. I think, we are a unique town and in a unique area, and as such, we want to provide unique entertainment. And I think that's exactly what was accomplished here. So kudos to everyone that was involved in that. A little bit about the meeting today and the introduction of the ordinance. This council is committed to the arts and committed to getting this Cultural Arts Center underway. And meeting a schedule that we kind of put out there, and we want to see that it happens. Our drop dead date was trying for January, maybe early spring, but we are going to do that. And if it means that we have to have a special meeting to get here, we are going to do that. And yes, it was on the agenda for a prior council, but the council had questions, and we did the right thing. We are not going to introduce, or we are not going to vote on anything that we have questions about. And we had a follow-up meeting with our architect and our planner, and we made some subtle changes to the design. to make sure that what we approve is the right thing for the Cultural Arts Center and the right thing for the city. And so I believe what was done was absolutely the right thing. And if it means that we had to get up and come here at 8 o'clock in the morning to get it done because we want it approved in the August 22nd meeting so that we can move forward with the award of this contract, we're going to do it. And in no way is this meant to hide anything from the public. It's extremely transparent. The second meeting will be held on August 22nd, and there'll be a public arena there for folks to talk about it and ask questions about it, and we will be prepared to answer. But we are 100% committed to this arts center, and we are going to move forward with it, regardless of those that come and may try to disparage remarks about it. As far as the amounts available, during the gala, thanks to the Alliance and the Chamber and folks that participated, we had $380,000 committed to support this, and we are going to continue to raise money to defray that cost. So everyone that's listening out there, I know there's still seats available, so you can have a seat tag, get your family name or your organization or your business. We're looking for naming rights for a marquee. There's lots of opportunity to be part of this going forward. I know there's many folks and many businesses and organizations in town that would love to be part of this. So get your checks out and contact Patrice. The Alliance is still heading up the fundraising event, and get in there and be part of the cultural arts movement here in our downtown. Thank you everyone for coming, and have a nice day.
Thank you. David?
I want to thank Mr. Greg Leosi and his staff, and Randy Glover and his staff for putting on 4 excellent shows. On behalf of the city, we appreciate it. Thank you. Last Friday was Carnival Day. It was the last day of camp. We had cotton candy, water slides. Thank you, Pat Ruggiero and her staff. It was another great summer camp success. My mom had a terrible fall last week. She was in intensive care. She had blood on her brain. After this meeting, I'm on my way to the hospital. If everyone out there can keep her in her prayer, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. All right. As Deputy Mayor Canestrino so eloquently said, the commitment to this art center will continue. This art center is going to move forward, and as you can see by the events that have been taking place, not just with our regular scheduled shows that we have every summer, but there's new events that Mr. Glover and Main Street Alliance and Greg have brought in. There's a great interest and a great need for entertainment and cultural arts in this city. It's people just want to do it, you know, and as they find out about it, more and more and more are coming. I actually was impressed because for years we always had a Latin band as part of our summer concert series, but the participation was not good. I mean, when you have a big name band come in and you have 200 people show up at a big venue like not a big venue, but a venue like the Green, after a while, so we had moved to another direction because they just weren't coming, and we wanted to reach out to as many people as we can. And we actually had more people Friday night at Atlantic Street Park than we had at the Green. So it probably was a matter of getting out to the people. You guys did a better job getting that out to the Latin community for that, and the whole community was involved. It was a great night, a great time. I'm glad Leo grabbed me. I wasn't sure whether I was going to be around, but he made sure I was there. Our commitments to that art center, and we're moving forward with that, as Mrs. Canestrino said. Again, I want to thank Greg. I want to thank Mr. Glover, Patrice, the Main Street Alliance, everybody involved, all the performers. I was very glad to see in this, the band that was there the other night, former Mayor Meneses was there. They were quite impressive. He's a heck of a bass player. And him himself said this is what Hackensack needs. He knows too. He's an entertainer. He knows. You put all politics aside, that's all nonsense. It's what people want, what keeps people together, what the city needs. And it was a wonderful night. Want to squeeze some more in. The other day we had the opening for the splash pad. It was great because all the kids from Camp Pennyback, right? Were there, piggyback. And great event. There was over 50 to 100, there's 50 to 100 kids there, and they were chomping at the bit. We did a countdown so they could run into the water, and they had a great time. And I think a couple council people or maybe a city manager or something might have gotten a little wet, but it was a fun day to be over there. Again, total transparency. The other councils have done this multiple times in the past. This was an introduction of one ordinance. All right, everybody knows what we're doing as far as the art center goes, I would think. And I welcome anybody who's watching now. If you have any questions on this, because this meeting is early, feel free to call the city manager's office. Feel free to call our CFO. Feel free to call anybody sitting up here. All right. So everybody have a wonderful day, and I need a motion to close this meeting. Oh,
Wait, are you going into?
I have to read that. Are we going into closed session, Your Honor?
Up to you. I have stuff.
If you have stuff, yes, I have to read
We
that.
need a motion for the resolution to go.
Hey,
into session.
Resolution 302-16. You have to read it first?
Calling to the executive meeting of the city council.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia. Aye. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Whereas the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack deem it necessary to discuss certain actions under section 7B7 and 7B8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, which pertains to matters falling within attorney-client privilege, ongoing litigation, and personnel matters concerning employment of a current or prospective employee. Whereas the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack is of the opinion that such circumstances may presently exist. And whereas the mayor and council wishes to discuss the following issues: personnel matters, ongoing litigation, matters involving attorney-client privilege. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack deem it necessary to exclude the public from this discussion. The outcome of the discussion will be disclosed within 90 days or at such time as the interests of the city do not require confidentiality.
Alvarez and Ziza.
Thank you.
Mayor, we represented, there will be no formal action taken. Have you done?
There'll be no formal action, no.
No formal
Absolutely not. We're not coming back out, Steve. Rick, sorry.
Oh, stick around.
How often?
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Offer.
Should be a motion to come out of closed session.
Motion to come out of closed session, sorry.
Yeah.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia. Aye. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Now I need a motion to close this meeting.
Offer.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 9:02.
Thank you to everybody for coming.